Okay.
Only one thing.
Let's not talk about it right now.
Go fund me.
Minimum wages. Good afternoon, Somi and the big one. My name is Osh. Okay, Osh sent that message in. He says, I actually speak French and Italian. Can I get to know you? I always had a thing for, sounding.
Why did you not do Short Tuesday?
No, that's not kind of thing. The big one. Somebody say I'm prevaricating.
Come on.
Please.
Why will you people
Please. Don't bring that back.
One of the number one that you don't use English.
Yes.
Do you think we know this?
Yes, you do.
Oh, you do?
Yes, that's why I immediately and say stop it. But that's Tuesday.
This one, after listening to the interview from you guys, you know the friend that Biden, currently, a lot of presidents are being chopping him up for 2027, while we all know that he's not ready for. No wonder Nigeria is Neme. Why so violent?
Let's take this call real quick. Hello.
Bye.
Ooh, and the person cut off the connection. 0700951 0000 00959748869 and 08099930137. Good greetings, Somi. It took me a while to master the spelling of your name. Even after I spell it almost every time. Come on, people.
There's a thing about your voice. But like you can be okay, person can just listen to what you're saying.
Great is the big one. I enjoy out people's awesome. He says, he says, President Biden stepped aside money, ego, kudi, owo, simple. A lot of donors, love gold feed after June 27. Harris crowned as candidate 20 something. Says, right now, the coast is there for her. Expects that Obama secretly Michelle will slant Harris.
If Michelle thing, right? Michelle wins that thing. Anyways, let's continue. Let me now say what's the man.
All right, we had a question to answer before we went on the break. Twofold question, as a matter of fact. The big one is, have you take the away?
Please, the question again.
Okay, let me see if I can find. Hi, Sam, the big one from the studio listening. So he says, what's your take on the U.S. upcoming elections of Kamala Harris as the flag bearer of the Democratic Party? That's all.
I already mentioned it earlier. Go hot. That's not the fact that she has been endorsed by her president, people, until, I think was it in 28th August, that somebody just said there, until then, before we now know who the official flag bearer for the Democratic Party in America is. But for now, Kamala is, on the front foot, ensuring that everybody remembers her name or knows her name. She's trying to make sure that people understand that she is in position to take over this candidacy. Right?
But that money, all that money that she was credited to having raised within the space of a day, you think she would do all of that and then still not take the position?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. If she doesn't take the position, they will most likely transfer that money or those monies into the next person.
You want to put that side by side with Nigeria and imagine that someone came out under the circumstances and is it? What are you doing? The big one is off in my mic. No, let's talk about it really. Imagine that in a Nigerian context where, this a similar situation played out, and in a day, somebody who was previously not necessarily in the running. The big one, where
I'm listening. No, I'm listening.
Someone who previously wasn't in the running but stands a good position to take over anyways, raised that much money. Meanwhile, some other person had been expecting it, had the backings of some other cabal. Let me use the Nigerian.
We don't have the word in Nigeria. What do you mean by cabal? Oh my God. Are we talking about Mortal Kombat? So you were saying, sorry.
Anyway, like I was saying, you're not throwing me off. Imagine that happened in a Nigerian context. We will not be having this conversation now. Kamala raised that much money, meaning she will automatically get the ticket. There's no chance that anybody will supplant her.
I take exception to this. What kind of society do you think we live in? I take exception to this.
I need to give you a handkerchief. The sarcasm is dripping off of you in droves.
I'm not being sarcastic here.
Yes, you are. Anyway, that was the first part of the question. I hope he answered that for you. Second part. So, Somi, as a chairlady of Women Supporting Women, I don't know where you saw that this title was bestowed upon me, but let's run with anyway. He says, between DJ Trump and Kamala Harris, who do you think Nigeria will benefit more from in economic and international development? Let's look at it. Trump was the president of the US for 4 years. Look at his foreign policy, basically, especially as it had to do with this part of the continent, as it had to do with Nigeria. Anything that you hear now in the campaign that is tilting towards, I'm for everybody and everybody is for me, I won't buy it from a DJ Trump. like I said, for Kamala Harris, it's not really clear. So the Democrats have a pandering crowd. They have a way of pandering to the crowd. If I do say so myself, come at me if you will, if you must. But I think that they may at least take a look at what is happening more in this part of the world. I think that they may be more open to entertaining visits and visiting as well. But again, it's all about what they can benefit more than what we can benefit, to be honest. So I'm not phased, I'm not moved, whichever of them emerges, whether it's a Republican candidate or Democratic candidate, because to me, foreign policy towards Nigeria, I've never really seen a mutually beneficial thing, really, when it comes to the US and Nigerian relations. So I'm not really keen on either. You can speak now.
Oh, okay.
If the sarcasm around your mouth will allow you.
What did that guy call you again? Women supporting women?
Yes.
First and foremost, you just proved it. Secondly,
I just said I'm not keen on either. How did I prove that?
The way you use all these 25 hours, this episode to the church, say you are not. Let me say it as it is, right? Donald J. Trump is America first. Do you understand? He doesn't give a care about any other country above his own country. And even if you do business, he's very blunt and tell you, if you're not of us, get at. For a democratic, in fact, I've seen it throughout history, democratically elected leaders are usually the ones that will, you know that thing where they say, rats bite you, yeah, they're very diplomatic and still telling you America first. If you're not going to favor us,
so they won't tell you to your face, America first. But the same thing.
Last, it's like saying, 12 or a dozen is the same.
They're the same. So what did you say? What did I say? Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I used 25 hours, you used 27. Welcome, sir. Good to have you here.
Good evening, Daniel. Good evening, Somi.
Good evening.
Welcome.
This is Prophet Michael Uchimoke.
There we
Fat
go.
Prophet. Good to have you here, sir.
Can I talk?
Yes, please.
Hello?
Yes,
please.
Please go ahead, Prophet.
Yeah. Comment on Trump. When you read America for Trump, you don't talk war countries, their leaders, to use resources in their countries to take care of their countries. That their policies is making their citizens to go through deserts, to be perishing in deserts.
Very true.
To go through high sea, to be perishing.
Very true.
What else can somebody that does not care to work country? Tell us, resources us. Why we in our country to do what? He doesn't want any criminal coming into America. He said if you must get into America, that you have to come into America to impact people.
Okay.
To impact people with the knowledge you have. It's not that some people don't understand that, bro.
Yeah.
His policy is tied up by the principles of God.
Okay.
His authority is on liberty. No power on earth will stop Donald Trump from coming over again.
Okay.
The election that took him out, the election that they manipulated, everything they did in that election, 2020 election, was manipulated, just like election in Nigeria, 2023 election in Nigeria.
All right, Prophet.
Trump is coming back to continue from where he stopped.
Okay.
So, Prophet, I have a question or two for you, Prophet.
Daniel, talk to me. Bring it on, Daniel.
I'm not bringing anything on. I'm only asking questions. Hey, you're
And
ready
he said
to
bring
fight.
on the
Bring
question.
it on, Daniel.
Okay,
Daniel,
sir.
bring it on. Bring it on to me.
All right, sir. So you said something.
Let me tell you what you don't know.
Okay, sir. You said something about no.
I'm sure he's here to respond. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Anyways, you said something about Donald J. Trump's well, how did you put it? His means of governance is according to, did he say godly principles or something? And I am believing that you're speaking as a Christian. So I would like you to, from the good book, quote maybe 3 verses that supports what you're saying, that Donald J. Trump is leading the nation America with godly principles. That's number 1. Number 2, I've heard your conversations before claiming that Donald J. Trump's candidacy is the choice of God. And I will ask you, sir, what is the proof of this that you have? You should be willing to give verifiable proof and not scream the house down when people ask you these questions.
Okay.
Do you understand?
So hopefully, Prophet will call back and answer that question. Hopefully, as clearly and as calmly as possible, because even from your first call, someone is sending the message that this is holy anger from the ace prophet.
It's called righteous indignation, sir.
Yes, so you want to take your time, call back and answer
Yes,
that question. Again,
yes.
like I said last time, it's all about conversation,
It's
right?
conversation, it's not a fight.
You say something, we ask a question back, you say something, which we're trying to understand each other, okay?
Yes.
All right, let's take some more calls. Hello.
Hello, Somi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, welcome.
Good afternoon, the big one.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Mike. When we blues.
I like your name. I like your name. When
Did you hear the effects there? Did you hear the effects?
I tried to say your name is Mike Foul behind. I understand because
When wind blows, leave it there now. Then you with the effect. Don't mind him.
move it on, sir.
Welcome, don't mind him.
You want to buy the name?
I don't even have money to buy bread. I say buy the name. Oga.
Okay. My contribution this afternoon might be contradictory somehow, though.
Okay.
Let me try to put it out.
Okay.
First of all, what we talk about, say we shouldn't talk. I heard someone talk about say we shouldn't go around the world. But particularly what we're going through now, the heat we did now.
It's everywhere.
If they hear from other people, at
Everywhere.
least. If they hear from outside the country, like for example, we will say, okay, that is what is happening there. We hear from America. What can we learn from them? Particularly highlighted that a political party could take a position on their candidate and all of that. Let me not repeat what we've said about Biden stepping down as who we're hoping to take position, right? Can that happen in Nigeria? This transparently, okay, Nigeria will be some, okay, this is how the leadership recruitment process is going over time before finally we will see who will come. Can we learn from that? Yeah, because we see when people they shall say, my turn. If my party don't give me ticket, I go fight dirty. Is that what we're saying in America now? Hello?
No, sir. Not at all. Not at all. He stepped down.
And now the person don't come. So okay, it's your turn. You don't come now to act. It be issue. One, I want to say something again. You see, Mr. President or whoever is to him, if he's listening, this approach of not wanting to engage with the people or not with people to express themselves, and you are going to traditional rulers, say, okay, they call it traditional rulers from all across the country. That is what led to the fight for nationalism against the colonial masters, indirect rule. Am I right?
Yeah.
When the colonial masters were not talking to the elites, them Habat Macaulay, them we don't go school, them Zig, they don't go London, come back. The colonial masters were not talking to them. Now the traditional ruler they go talk to. The traditional ruler children them or they are dogering them. Now they go to tell the elites what did they happen. Now what make that is the cause of the fight for nationalism. If my school teacher don't deceive me. So Mr. President, instead of say if you don't want to engage Nigerians, just like you hear as I'm comparing example from US and all that, if you want to engage Nigerian masses, you are going about you say you want to talk to their chiefs, the traditional rulers. Talking to the traditional rulers is good, but engage with the people directly. Some people are more enlightened than the traditional rulers now. So let us not go back to what led to the cause nationalism, Mr. President. And I said the conversation with the traditional rulers, all the generals, both serving and retired, should be part of that conversation. Because there are questions that need to be asked that we can't ask on our own. In that platform where the generals, both serving and retired, are on the platform, the political class are on another side.
Okay.
The Nigerian mass is the society and other people are on another side. We can ask questions on that platform.
Okay.
And nobody will be afraid of anything.
All right.
That is the way to go, Mr. President.
All right. Thank you so much, Mike. When wind blows, we appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. We really do appreciate you. Good afternoon, Somi. Donald J. Trump all the way, baby. Yeah. It's old man calling. I'm just playing. Anyways, who is this? This is good evening, Somi and the big one, Mohammed Musa from Gurki. Trump is the most likely winner, but truth is that he is a disaster. Oh, wow.
And
Oh, wow.
and honestly, you have to look at it from a certain perspective when it comes to these things. There are different elements to the candidates that are being presented for this U.S. elections. Donald J. Trump, you can look at him from the perspective of a businessman and see how he handles the country based off all those things. You can look at Kamala based off of the fact that she's, a diplomat. She knows how to use her words depending on, which side of the table you're on. You could argue with that. But to take a DJ Trump and... Again, I like to bring this into the Nigerian context. Since some people are hungry for conversation about Nigeria, I know, I see what you're seeing. Calm down, the big one.
I've just seen somebody post something. If I could,
we're gonna get to it.
Oh,
we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it.
But all I can give is karaoke.
We're gonna get to it. I was saying, if you take a Trump as a contestant, as a person, and the way he goes at his opponents and literally verbally attacks them, is that the kind of president that you would want?
I have mentioned this thing to you before. Donald J. Trump is not your average politician / diplomat or technocrat or whatever you want to call it. The man is a businessman who went from the ground up. A child of German immigrants who had to scrap to survive. And you expect him to change in his 70s? That's how he knows how to fight. That is who Donald J. Trump is. And it just happens to be that America happens to be a country that is moved by entertainment value.
Entertainment value,
yes.
In this part of the world, we will call it hate speech.
Entertainment value.
We will call it hate speech.
Go and see all of his conversations with Hillary Clinton. Dude was, you would think it was a roast competition. It is just who Donald J. Trump is. Okay. Did I not tell you earlier when they said Kamala was endorsed by president, he was like, it's going to be a whole lot easier.
He said that, but he's also labeled her as crazy. He called her crazy.
Have you
made reference to the way she laughs?
Have you heard?
He can be a bit denigrating in his comments.
Have you heard the
yes or no?
Of course, I'm not denying that. Have you heard the things that have been said about Trump?
Okay.
By Biden and Kamala and the Democrats and media?
Okay. We need to go on a quick break. Do you want to take that message or should we take that after?
No, after we come back.
Okay, we are still here and we have maybe another 20 minutes to go around the world before we shift gears into the conversation. So stay with us. Yes.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
Audio Jungle.
Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
All right, welcome back. We are bringing the conversation to a close in the next 20 minutes thereabout. Let's take some messages from Facebook and then we'll go back to the phone lines. Trump will do better. I support him all the way, says Ifeme Israel Ekwe. Idoko George says, good evening, Somi and the big one. Trump diplomatic affairs is strictly business. He will not give you anything for free. Emperor Malinga Audu says, I prefer Donald Trump. And Oza Francis Omaga Namani says, our leaders should come up with policies and programs that will impact on the lives of the people positively. May God help us. The big one is clapping, but let's tie that into the message that came in.
The reason why I'm clapping is
Yes.
Kobe take, which is what I said in the. Trump is a businessman. His own is let's get the job done. Let's get the business rolling. This is what Kobe says. Hello, my people. If somebody is voted in as America's president, he must uphold the interest of his country. It is not the American president's duty to protect the interest of Nigeria and Nigerians. This is Nigerian leaders should emulate. Entitlement to expect another country to protect. This is playing outsiders for Nigeria's failure. Is hi. Are you married? I could give you an extra wife.
You have them lying around
It's not.
to pass around?
All you need to do is Auntie Canada.
It's like
marriage, visa.
you will come on Tuesday when SWAT is on.
Auntie Canada
So that you
marriage
can-
visa.
yeah.
That is Donald J. Trump, Biden, whoever is in power, his number one concern
Is his
is
country.
America. The thing is that like I told you, the Democrats will sugarcoat it. They will sugarcoat it, but at the end of the day, they will take from you what they want to take from you.
Well, the good
J.
thing
Trump
is
J. Trump doesn't
Yes.
have time to be playing politics with you. Okay, there was a story I heard. I don't know how true this is, but some people who were on his, retinue, his entourage rather, said he had a conversation with wherever he went to with some Taliban leaders, and they were trying to have a conversation. And Taliban leader was raising shoulder. Trump just brought out a picture and dropped it. It was a picture of the Taliban leader's house and said, this is what you guys will do. That's the kind of person he is. He's not here to do diplomacy with you.
Well, like I said, the good thing is, I think that was just the question. What's his name was asking for the fun of it. I don't think the conversation for now is, we want America to come and do this for us.
No.
That's not the conversation. So everybody, cool your heels, calm down. Don't get angry. Don't get nothing. For people who are supporting, I don't know why you're supporting, but good luck to you.
You are not.
Maybe
their
you just
concern.
like the idea of the person in power, or maybe just a sense of what's the word? A sense of, it's not alignment, but you know where I'm going with it. The big one. Give me the words for it.
Sense of camaraderie.
Something like that.
Someone says, hi, sorry for cutting
Okay.
you. So, hi, Somi and the big one. Trump fights nasty. That's just who he is. For me, a thoroughly spoiled child who grew in great wealth, which eventually inherited and multiplied, getting all the bad characteristics you can imagine. Nepotism, racism, etc. I don't understand what Biggie means by he's the son of German immigrants. Oh, you don't know that his ancestors
Please
were...
clarify, he says.
Okay, so his ancestors, right, Germans, moved in to America, grew what they grew, and then by scrape, there is no denying the fact that the man understands business, and like you said, multiplied what his family already had. There are people who had wealth, got into position of multiplying that wealth, and finished it. This man has multiplied it. That's what I mean by scrape. You understand? He has learned to fight dirty in the world of business, and that is what he does. Do you get my point? I hope I have clarified.
Yeah. And just in case the part that you wanted clarification on was the son of, what did you call it? Son of German immigrants. Yes, the family of Donald Trump, who at one time was 45th president of the United States and is currently contesting again, is an American family of German and Scottish descent, right? So the entire family is active in business, entertainment, politics, and real estate. And just like I like to say, bring it side by side with Nigeria. I promise you, this will have been something that will have come up if it was in the Nigerian context. That after all is not even
Nigeria.
It's not even an American.
A full Nigeria.
You see, but they've transcended all of that, and the conversations that we are having now, we're getting to the point where people are saying this is his personality, but you set his personality aside and take who he is as a possible presidential candidate and put it out. Well, I did have some conversation with some people who are in America, Nigerians living in America and all of that, and they had their own position on Trump, the convicted felon issue, and all of that, but we're not having that conversation right now. So just like I said, we're bringing you the updates. It's not that anybody's campaigning for anybody here. Just like Cash Money says, Trump and Harris, I don't care. Trump has a way of messing up some nations like Turkey. So maybe please don't worry about America. Let's solve Nigerian challenges. Just be fine for me, Somi, he says. Okay.
So here's one. Yeah. So me and the big one. Let me answer the big one. Second question posed to the prophet on spiritual proof that Trump is God's choice for America. The Bible says, natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit because they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them. So the prophet needs not to give you any proof because the natural man doesn't understand things of the Spirit, hence needs no proof as it is beyond his spiritual comprehension. Big Willie. Hi, Big Willie. Hold on. Hi, Big Willie. The same Bible says, test all spirits. Let's move.
Let's move on. Phone calls it is. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Good evening, good afternoon, all of them. Welcome.
Yes. My name is Chinedu. I'm calling from Nassau.
Welcome, Chinedu.
Trump is a man of people. Trump is a leader who understands for his life. America cannot be able to meet somebody like Trump. God bless them to give them somebody like that. You see, in our country, Nigeria, I cannot say we don't meet. We will go again. God give us a leader, but we just do anyhow. That's why today, even to say akara, to chop today, is a problem. May God reward our Nigeria and give us a good leader again.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Speaking of Nigeria, let's just get straight into it in the time that we have left. Breaking news reaching me right now, according to the Punch newspaper. Ahead of the protest, 4,200 policemen have been deployed in the FCT.
Wait, we have that many policemen?
Well, that's what we're saying. The FCT Police Command has deployed 4,200 policemen across the nooks and crannies of the nation's capital. The command has also announced the deployment of explosive ordnance device experts at various strategic locations. And they made this in a statement on Friday. Spokesperson of the force, Josephine Ade, said that the deployment was to ensure public safety, protect protesters, and prevent the protest from being hijacked by non-state actors. She added that there will be raids on identified black spots, uncompleted buildings/shanties, and stop and search operations, among others, in collaboration with sister security agents. She also said the FCT Police Command, in anticipation of the planned protest by some human rights activists and Nigerian youths to publicly express their displeasure over the hunger and hardship, has proactively deployed material and human resources across the nooks and crannies of the nation's capital. Okay. She noted that the FCT Commissioner of Police, Bernard Igwe, has also warned that the destruction of public and private properties will not be tolerated during the protest. She said that while acknowledging the rights of residents to protest, she advised that it must be peaceful. The big one, this is also in view of the fact that the president said earlier on, we are not afraid of protests, and came out to give his concern about the end bad governance protests which are arising. Now, I'm not quite sure what the read is now from our security operatives. You heard yesterday, of course, that the FCT minister came out to say that there is no room for protesting in the FCT because they are going to be awarding certificates. I don't know now if the awarding of certificates is going to take place from the 1st to the 10th. I've seen some news reports that said 1st to 15, but the FCT minister has come out to say this. The big one.
I'm sorry, I had to laugh. I'm so sorry.
So we're getting this report from the FCT minister saying no room for protest. At the same time, we had heard the CP of the FCT earlier on come out to say that there should not be any protest as well because, they have done a lot of work in securing the lives and property of the FCT residents. And so any protest would be like a slight on them to say, it's like you... He said, don't protest. That you're not protesting is telling us thank you for the work that we have done, basically. But now we're hearing that they are deploying security operatives and, what was that word again? Explosive ordnance device experts across strategic locations, and are going to be conducting raids. If you were to get a proper read, if you want to try to deduce exactly. Now, we know that the federal government, from their body language, they have said it in different ways, not to protest. They have given their reasons why. But at the same time, now we are hearing that they're deploying. So they are planning for the protest. Are they planning ahead?
Hoping for the best, expecting the worst.
That's what they're doing.
Pretty
yes,
much.
with all of this.
Was it last week I came and I was talking about protest and people were angry at me like, oh, this guy is like, things are, enjoying yourself. I told you last week, if you're going to go out to protest, don't expect that there will not be a pushback from the government. It will definitely happen. I heard the minister say something about giving certificates to area council chairman.
Yes, that's
Abuja,
why he said
Abuja residents should come out and celebrate.
Them. Yes.
Okay.
Are you questioning the fact that Abuja residents should come out and celebrate?
No, I'm not. I'm just going to ask this first question.
Right.
What is the name of the area council chairman of Kwali?
What are you asking?
I'm asking anybody who lives in Kwali.
Okay. What makes you think they don't know? I was having a conversation earlier on about something happening in Gwagwalada, and some of the residents were giving information as to whether his tenure is almost over and all. I'm sure the people of the FCT, if they don't go to Google right now, are very much aware of who the area council chairman are.
My point is this. You want to give somebody certificates. Is that a reason for people to come on the street and jubilate? People are hungry, and your concern is about giving people certificates and telling the hungry people to come and jubilate.
It did reek of a thing of see, I will look for what I will use to tell people not come out to protest, so that they will not say that I did not tell them not to come out and protest.
My point is,
I mean, you heard what happened with the Oro Festival in Lagos, where the state government came out and distanced themselves from that and saying everybody's within rights to do what they needed to do.
By the
Perhaps
law.
the FCT minister didn't see that. If he had seen that, maybe he wouldn't have been so quick to come out, because it was like he was towing the same line as
by the law.
Yes.
By the law.
Yes.
Any citizen of a country has the right, within the ambit of the law,
that's clear,
to protest
peacefully.
Someone
said something that caught my attention earlier on today. They said there's a difference between protest and riot.
Big difference.
Okay, please.
Protest is usually not violent. A protest is me coming out in mass to tell you I'm not happy with what is happening.
Right.
I need you to make sure that things work well. A good example of a protest is Occupy Broadway. And it's not Broadway, what's the name of that place? Wall Street, Occupy Wall Street. People came out, they were upset about stuff happening, and they spoke. Oh, we are going to link ourselves. There are people who say, oh, end the use of fossil fuel. They don't go, well, there are some of them who...
They are a bit extra.
They are village people are speaking in their heads. You understand?
Yes.
But you link your arms, you go out, you stand, you say, okay, we don't want this anymore. If you go to Colombia back in 94, 95, when the president of that country, Sampa, they found out that the Cali cartel, people who dealt in drugs, were part of the people who contributed to his campaign, about $6 million. People came out in numbers and they're like, we don't want, and he had just been elected. We don't want you. It's not like they went about, destroying things. A riot is what happened post October 20th in places like Lagos, where people went berserk and started burning things. That is a riot.
Okay. Is there a natural progression typically from protest to riot? Because I saw someone give a historical background to some significant riots, some landmark protests that have happened over time. And it was interesting that you have, for example, I think the first one I saw was the Aba women's riot.
That one was a riot.
That one was an outright riot. It didn't start out as a riot, did it? It did not start out as a riot.
So here it is. I will reference what I said last week, right? You come out sometimes, not sometimes, in fact, all the time, well, most of the time, you have kickback from authority. Kickback from authority angers the irate mob, right? Yeah. Or irate group of people that have come out.
Yeah.
And in self-defense, strike back.
Okay.
A good example, we recently had the Kenyan protest.
Yeah.
The Kenyan
started
protest,
out peacefully, all of that.
People got shot, degenerated into a riot.
That's when they went into the...
That's why they went, since it's like you don't remember that they that have numbers have more power than they that have power. And that was what happened. And thank God for Ruto. Ruto decided to listen to them. He had, conversations with them on X, conversations with them one-on-one, etc., etc. We were having a conversation last week about how Gen Z were able to use social media to make things happen. Is there a natural progression? I would say no. It is always dependent on factors that play out. Are there people who will be stationed in certain areas to cause commotion so that whoever doesn't want this to happen will come out and say, after all, you did this?
Yeah.
Yes, it's very possible.
Yes.
At the same time, are there people who are organizing quote-unquote protests with the intention to cause havoc? It happens.
Yeah.
Are there then people who do not care about the cry of the people doing the protest? Neither do they care about the cry of the government that is saying, give us time. And they're just looking for an opportunity to get what they can get. Good example, people that began to loot, people that began to destroy, go to places like, supermarkets and retail stores in different places, broke the place down, even on Airport Road here, broke the place down, started to steal things. Those ones are looters. It happened during the BLM, Black Lives Matter. People came out, you guys have killed George Floyd. I saw videos, so many videos. People came out, were screaming, George Floyd, George Floyd, George Floyd. And somebody asked and says, do you know who George Floyd is? I don't know who he is. I just know, I thought it was the person that they were asking, do you know George Floyd? He was holding like 3 cartons of sneakers. He has gone to go and loot a shop.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So different people are going to be there for different reasons. I understand when the government comes out to say, we are telling you that there will be violence. That we expect it to degenerate to so and so, because those kind of elements will be there. But let's not also separate the fact that the government can also plant people.
Yes.
To bring about this chaos so that they have the right to now come in and quell it and say, after all, you guys went haywire. Which was why, referencing what I said last week, the government will always push back.
Yeah, you did say that. Okay, let's take some calls. I was talking about historical background of some notable demonstrations that we've seen over the years, over the decades, over the centuries, if you will. I gave example of the Aba women's riot. I think at the end of the day, someone was making reference to some of these things because it's a case of, it does start out with good intention a lot of the time. It may degenerate, but the point is, in all of what will happen, are you going to be able to get the results that you set out to do? I will see if I can quickly go through some of those demonstrations that have happened in times past, but let's talk to some people. Hello, good evening.
Hello, my sister.
Welcome.
God bless. Listen, I am very, very worried. Minister Lake, is it not in him scattering River State? Why he not allow people to protest? Is it not to him scattering the River State? This is a laughing matter. Thank you.
Interesting. Okay. What's up? Let's see who's here. Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Somi?
Yes, welcome.
Yeah. Good evening, big one.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Dikin Emmanuel Okudile from Mandala.
Deacon, good to have you here.
Thank you for what you are doing. I want to beg the federal government to make sure that they provide security for the people who will be protesting from 1st to 10th. It's a shrine in the Constitution
Yeah.
that people have the right to protest if there are policies that are harsh to the citizenry. And we have many of them that are harsh. The removal of subsidy is one of them. In fact, as I'm talking to you now, I cannot even buy fuel. Even when the subsidy was removed, there is inconsistency of availability of fuel in the filling stations. So people are suffering. And also the electricity tariff, it has increased. And there's something I discovered from that electricity tariff. If you are saying 20 hours, we have observed that people don't have life for that 20 hours in band A. And you still charge them at that rate at which we assume that they are using life for 20 hours. So you see, there are confusion here. And, when you talk about food, Oga, big one. Do you know that
Yes.
I've observed from some of my friends that there are people who are eating eba with what they call it, this Indomie water. Indomie water.
It's soup, sir.
Why? Because they don't have money to make soup.
It's soup, sir.
So me and the big one, before my wife will make soup now, I have to, when I give 10,000, you say that it's small. I say, what do you mean? You say, okay, go to market and buy myself and bring for me to cook.
He shocked you when you went there.
People are suffering, Oga. People are suffering.
He shocked you.
It's just a mere, just they want to bring government down. No. Me, myself, I'm feeling it. So there's need for government to do the needful. I'm also afraid that it is possible that government can sponsor hoodlums because they don't want the protest to go on.
True.
So that they will have a good reason to hijack the process or the protest. But we are begging, let them listen to the people and hear out what their demands are.
All right.
Then from there they can, start up from there to know what we can do.
Okay.
Thank you, Somi. And
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, please. Welcome.
Good evening.
Hello?
We can hear
Good evening,
you.
we
Go
can hear
ahead,
you.
please.
Your analysis paper very speculative. But the breaking news when
Okay, I was
dear.
about to say I can't really hear what he said.
Okay, let's see if we can take one more. Hello.
Hello, Somi.
Good evening. Welcome.
Yeah, Daniel, well done.
Thank you,
Daniel.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
We can hear you, sir.
Yeah. The planned protest, like you said over there, the government will use their own agents to counter the peaceful protest. That is what is going to happen. But if Nigerians in all, if we can say no to them, whatever thing they will give to you, say no to them. Even police and army, they all go to market. Everybody goes to the market to buy things. Are they not feeling it? These people that they will bribe with 10,000 naira, are they not feeling what is happening in Nigeria? That's number one. Number two, my brother over there, you need proof. Let me now prove something for you. Let me give you this secret about Trump.
Okay.
When he spelled Trump, add E to it, it becomes trumpet. That's number one. Number two, the Bible made us to know that kingdom of God suffered violence and God's people take it by force.
Yes.
It's connected to his authority, liberty. In this very world, nobody, no one leader shifted American embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. That thing he did is fulfillment of the scripture that is leading us to the end of time.
What is the passage, sir? Wait, hold on.
New Jerusalem.
Hold on. What is the?
He said Revelation
People
21.
all around the world gathered and took him out from office. The reason God is bringing him back is for him to continue his project.
Sir.
To start rebuilding Jerusalem.
Sir.
To start rebuilding Solomon's temple that usher in second coming of Jesus Christ, which nobody knows when it will be.
Sir.
You don't know what you are saying, Daniel.
Sir.
Bring it on to
Sir.
me.
No, don't cut it. Don't cut it.
No,
Sir.
we're almost out of time.
Bring it on. Next Friday, bring it on. Let me talk to you.
No. I want to just ask you a question, sir. He cut the call.
Why do you keep doing that, though?
Why? So here is a twisting of scripture that just happened now, right? The reference to the New Jerusalem was not done by a person. According to the Bible, the New Jerusalem came down from heaven. So you're wrong on that point, sir, if you want to follow that path, right? Anybody can open the book of Revelations 21. It came down from heaven, a new Jerusalem, a new heaven and a new earth. And then, quote unquote, Christ reigns from Jerusalem. It's about time, sir, that you allow people question you and then you back up what you say with scripture so that you don't mistakenly follow your emotions and claim that this is what God is saying. But when we come back, I'm going to expatiate on what you said, sir.
If time will allow us, get into that because we are changing the tone of the conversation completely right after this break. We are done going around the world. We will allow for conversations to come in, but like I said, tone of conversation will be changing just in case. Don't say I didn't tell you. By coming back.
More talk, news and sports after this.
This is Nigeria Info.